You're 71. Did you ever think you'd come to Bombay at 71?
I never even thought of turning 70, but I never thought of coming to Bombay.
At that point in time, what was going on in your mind? What were you thinking?
That
Why
you were full of shit. Yes, I have a story. Yes, I got out of grad school at 23 in epidemiology, and then I was in a plane crash in 81, and then when I was 54, I got a PhD.
First day in Bombay.
That is. I'm actually here after talking about it for 5 or 6 months. You know, we're going to go to India.
You never thought you'd make it?
I knew I'd make it, but I'd never really thought of coming to India. It's never been like something that was on my bucket list at the moment.
Right.
But thank you for inviting me, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you for coming. So, Dr. Salvin, what'd you do? How'd you spend the last 24 hours in Bombay?
Let me think back. It seems so long ago. Actually, when I got here, we had a beautiful welcome with the garlands and the paparazzi and everybody saying hello, and seeing you and Aditi again after 6 months. It was very exciting for me.
So when we spoke 6 months ago, I remember you were at our place in Dubai.
In Dubai.
And we had this conversation and we spoke about it. At that point in time, what was going on in your mind? What were you thinking?
That you were full of shit.
Am I now? Yeah, a lot of people say that the first time they meet me. It's really difficult for people to believe my vision at times.
No,
but I envisioned it. I envisioned
I
this whole
knew
thing.
you invited me up for dinner. We had a hamburger. I thought, wow, dinner at his house. But I heard from others who really had dinner at your house. I'm like, oh, well, thanks a lot, Raul. Made me feel important. I'm not going to mention names, but I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. A few days after I left, I went to Istanbul after Dubai. No, but actually, when you invited me up and got to the 52nd floor.
51st.
Sorry. But I did see the helicopter pad.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Anyway, we talked about, I have this idea, and I want to do this in India, and I'd like to invite you to be the keynote and to do this, because you did so well with the keynote. We were impressed, and you turned people's heads, and people were excited to hear it. I'm like, really? So my impression, I'm getting chills, and as you know, chills and goosebumps is spiritual confirmation. And you complimented me on my work. So I showed up in Dubai, and for those that don't know, like I guess after 880,000 profiles that were reviewed, only 200 and some odd people won these awards.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
And I was in that less than 1 percentile.
Yes, you were.
And then you invited me, and I had to think about it. And we had a few meetings with my advisors at home, and weighing in and out as to what the experience could actually be like for me, and was it worth me coming all the way here to participate. And of course, yes, I took the risk, because it is a risk. You're a risk. Anything in business is a risk.
Absolutely.
But it's more than business, because I believe it's spiritually led. There's ordainment here. There's a connection here that I don't find with a lot of business people. And that's what makes it even more special.
Interesting.
You know?
So you spoke about, you connect this country to spirituality, and you're
Absolutely.
highly spiritual.
Yes.
How were you feeling when you took off? I remember I texted you and you had anxiety.
Oh, when I left LA?
Yeah, when you left LA.
Well, first, I think when I left LA, I was getting excited about it. And I thought, oh my God, 9.5 hours to London just to change planes to get to Mumbai. But anyway, I was okay until I got to London. That's when I said we're 3 hours late, and you went, oh no, and I could just hear it on text. Oh no, because you had to contact everybody.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand, is how many moving parts. You got to contact the crew, and you got to contact the producers, and you got to contact the drivers, you got to contact blah, 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 the paparazzi and immigration, because you had it all planned for a 7:30 arrival.
Correct.
And things happened. There were mechanical difficulties on the plane, and me being a plane crash survivor, I'm thinking, oh God, we're going to crash because it's, the nuts and bolts aren't together.
Did you at any point in time feel that the pilot was not doing a good job?
No, you know what happened? Actually, that's a good question because while I was in London at Heathrow, I saw the pilot, and many times I go to the pilot or the stewardesses and the crew and say, I'm a plane crash survivor, and sometimes I get more anxiety, especially during turbulence. I was trained or told 44 years ago, let them know. Most of them are kind and they understand, others don't care. But I was in line waiting to take off 3 hours later. This is after we'd spoken, and I saw the pilot come running out, talking to some people, and I figured it was his family. We get on board and we're ready to take off. He goes, I want to let everybody know my wife and daughter are on board with me because I'm retiring at the end of the year. So I thought, oh, he's a father, a husband, we're safe, and let's just go. And then also, I remember going, because I don't like taking escalators much anymore. I always feel like I'm going to fall. It's something, I don't know if it's age or if it's my perception. So I go to the elevator, and there were 7 crew members. I said, oh, are you going to Mumbai? They said, we are. So one woman who was a stewardess, I told her I'm a survivor, and she said, I totally understand PTSD, because she had been, I think, in Hungary or Turkey, where she witnessed a terrorist attack, and she's never been the same.
Wow.
Since. So we had that bond, and wherever we were in the cabin over another 9 hours or whatever it took to get here, I was comforted. And the great thing is that I could sleep, doze off. A lot of turbulence, but I'm here.
You're here. You're in Bombay.
It's not going to happen twice in a lifetime. No 2 plane crashes. No.
You're 71. Did you ever think you'd come to Bombay at 71?
I never even thought of turning 70, but I never thought of coming to Bombay. I've been invited to Singapore, I've been invited back to France, but it was never the Indian culture that said, come visit.
What are you most looking forward to? You're here for 3 weeks. What are you most excited about?
I want to see the temples. I want to hear the music. I want to taste the food. Mostly I want to see what your idea is about why you've got me here. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. But
I love that.
the vision is the experience. It's sort of like with the Dubai. For those that don't know, I had 4 emails. I kept deleting these emails from this Fortuna group. I get solicited all the time. We'll come this. We want your money. We want to give you an award. It's like all this stuff. One day I really read his email. And I'm like, what is this? So I said, all right, I'll have my little 10-minute conversation. An hour and a half later.
It was a long interview. I remember. It was a really long interview.
Yeah, it was fun. We talked about Canada and everything else,
Yeah.
I remember. So something changed, something clicked, something like, there's something to this that isn't the regular shtick, which means bullshit in Yiddish.
You gotta teach me.
I will teach you Yiddish.
When we were doing your trial, you taught me this word.
Schwitz.
Schwitz.
Schwitz means sweat.
Schwitz. Oh, okay.
Perspire.
And bullshit means? How do you say bullshit in?
Well, we just say oi about everything.
Oi.
Oi vey.
Oy vey. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I sent you a whole list of shit.
Yeah, I saw that. All the shits. the
12, 15 different shits.
Shits.
We can go over that another time.
We'll go through that list. I want to go through that list with you. Okay.
Okay, well, shit around.
So we've got, we'll shit around. Yeah, we've got, 2 busy days tomorrow and day after.
Well, the beautiful part is during the keynotes. This is where I'm most flattered and most honored. This is where I'm being serious, Raul. Yes, I have a story. Yes, I got out of grad school at 23 in epidemiology, and then I was in a plane crash in 81, and then when I was 54, I got a PhD. I never thought any of that would lead to where it's going, because most people thought I was crazy being a psychic or a metaphysical person. Oh, Linda, you're not a hippie. Or even I can still remember my mother when she was alive and I was studying for the PhD. She goes, what do you need a PhD for? I said, because I never got to the top of anything. I wanted to finish the educational process. Or it was one more thing that needed to be done in my view, even though I thought I was going to go this way in life and I went that way. We all have, it's not a straight line. Life is not a straight line. You think it is.
It is.
But it's paying off, and I've built a reputation over the years, and this is like the next growth phase. It's a new chapter. The beautiful opportunity you're giving me is where I can be a vortex where it's all coming together, all my experiences to get the message out.
Interesting. You're giving an interview with a prominent English channel in 2 days, in 3 days, 3 days.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, they're really interested to know about your life and your journey. If you had to sum up your journey in your life, do you have one word to describe how your journey's been? If you had just one word.
Let me think for a moment. It's a good question. I'd say adventuresome, but I would also say traumatic.
Dramatic. Okay.
It's been very traumatic in many, many ways, which, and I'm getting chills, I think because I overcame the obstacles that most people would give up on or withdraw from. I'm not saying I never withdrew, but courageous.
So adventurous, traumatic, courageous.
And courageous, yeah.
I think you've got phases.
I did.
And I think Dr. Linda Salvin is living the adventurous phase.
Now I am.
At 71.
Yes, I am.
You're an inspiration, Doc.
Thank
and
you.
I say that all the time.
I
and
know
you're
you
one of
do.
my core memories. And I still remember that 1.5 hour interview that we did. And I think, you know, a big part of us as a group wanting to do this with you was because you have an amazing story to tell. And we're going to unravel, you know, who
Parts,
Linda
yeah.
Salvin was, is, and where she wants to get with Life with Linda.
Yeah.
And I look forward to spending the next 2 weeks with you.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
here. Thank
Doc,
you. This is
thank
gonna
you
be
so
cool.
much. All right, you got it?
But I